I'll start off by saying the obvious. I truly did enjoy the demo. Playing this game for the first time, it was very enjoyable, and even though we didn't have a lot of the content unlocked, like we had very limited selection when it came to the maps that we did have were enjoyable. I think the cross-world mechanic of being able to switch between worlds makes it so that you never truly have a race that is similar to the last one that you had. And so I think that's a huge plus. When they add the rest of the maps to this game, it is going to be phenomenal. I truly think that this game has a good chance of being able to stand on its own. The elephant in the room, obviously, is Mario Kart World. I think a lot of the conversation surrounding Sonic Racing Crossworlds was whether it would be able to compete with the likes of Mario Kart World. To be honest, as a longtime Sonic fan, I would love nothing more than for this game to be up there and compete with the likes of Mario Kart in general. It's a franchise that has had multiple editions, and so it has a long-standing history for what it is, right? I'll ask anybody about Mario, and if they've ever played a game, and they're likely to bring up a Mario Kart game. Unfortunately for Sonic, racing just isn't something, that a casual person would associate when it comes to racing in Sonic. I think that is a very hard battle to win. But I am confident that this game puts them in contention. And that's huge. That is huge. Because up until this point, the previous Sonic racing games that I think there's All-Stars and Transform, I don't think it ever really breached the casual scene. I could be wrong. Again, I've never really played those two games that in depth. So I think Sonic Racing Cross Worlds has a good chance to do that. And honestly, I think Mario Kart World has left a lot of people wanting more. And I think Sonic Racing Cross Worlds has a phenomenal foundation that they can continue to build off of. One of the things that I would be excited to see for this game to do is their own spin on the tour mode that Mario Kart World introduced. I think the fact that you could probably go through 5 different worlds in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and after each world you have, a set number of people eliminated, I think it could be done, and it actually would probably be significantly more entertaining than what Mario Kart World currently has going on, in my opinion. So the prospect of new modes, we already know there's significantly more maps than what were available during the beta. And the characters are all strong pillars that are going to allow for this game to stand on its own. Not only do you have all these Sonic characters that you can tap into, but you're also doing these collaboration with franchises that have their own community and fans to tap into. Seeing Joker playing in a Sonic racing game was very cool to see. The only other time that I've ever played a game that has the Joker collaboration is Smash Bros. And to this day, I think Joker is still one of my favorite characters to play in Smash. Obviously, Hatsune Miku is one of the most popular collaborations so far that we've seen, right up there with Steve from Minecraft. And I think it's cool that Sega is taking the risk of collaborating with these different IPs and even some of their own, right? Like introducing Knights and a couple of the other games that they have going on the side. Having them be a part of this game, I think would be helpful for them, sure, but also makes this game, stand out more on its own. The customization in this game, I think, is top tier, right? The gadgets that this game introduces to customize your playing experience. If you like air tricks like me, you can add gadgets that increase the speed that you perform those tricks, that increase the reward that you get from performing those tricks. If you're really good at drifting, there are gadgets that help you drift faster. They give you a better payoff, an increased level in your drifts. It makes an entirely different experience depending on what gadgets you end up going with. And that customization, that's going to get people to come back. That's going to get people to play this game in so many different ways. Never mind the vehicles, which throughout this entire beta, I only played with the extreme gear. I wasn't even aware that vehicles have different classes that they're a part of. The actual kart racers have different groups that they're a part of that have different attributes. There's like a speed and acceleration, a power attribute. So the cars perform better for, whatever attribute they belong in. extreme gears are all part of one single attribute. So I didn't even realize that there's actually further customization if you play with the kart racers. All of these things combined are setting up Sonic Racing Crossworlds to once again perform really well. I truly believe they have a good chance. They cooked with this. I truly do think they cooked with this. One of the biggest obstacles that I think will be happening, because I'm experiencing it myself, I bought Mario Kart World. And that's the first game I've paid for over 60 bucks. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is another racing game at the end of the day. And as big of a Sonic fan as I am, and there's a pretty good chance I still end up buying this game when it comes out, a lot of my friends just weren't fully convinced to make that decision. At least not right now. I think if I get a little bit more footage out, maybe I can convince some people. But people are very hesitant right now to be buying new games. And at the end of the day, it's a kart racer. If you have Mario Kart, it's a very similar experience, just different settings, right? And so I think that will also be off-putting for people. But I think this game has a good chance. If there was any game of the racing series on the Sonic side that could compete potentially with Mario Kart, I was very surprised to find out that this one is probably the best chance they'll have, I think, in my opinion. We've talked about the comparison, we've talked about the overall game. Like I've said before and plenty of times, I truly did enjoy this game a lot. I had fun with it. I'm excited to play it more. The online capability was really fun. I think the fact that this network test did its job. There were definitely their fair share of network errors, but that was the whole point of this test, right? And I'm sure they'll get to work on addressing those issues. I have confidence in Sega, which I think is one of the things I want to end up talking about at this very end of this video. Sega team, Sonic team had a interview where they were asked if Mario Kart World, or the potential, because I think at the time of the interview there wasn't anything released, or they were talking about hypotheticals of like, prior to the release of your game in Mario Kart World, was it ever a consideration that, oh, Nintendo would put out another Mario Kart racer before Sonic Racing Crossworld would come out? And the response from Sonic Team was, it was not a thought in their mind. They were going to produce the best game that they could, because their goal is to produce the best possible game that they can so that they are able to compete with the likes of Nintendo and Mario. And I think that level of confidence of like, you know what, they're going to do their thing, we're going to do ours, and they're both going to be good. If ours isn't better, you know, it is what it is. Like, I think that mentality, solid to have. Yeah, I like the confidence out of Sonic Team. I want to see them take these risks. I want to see them, you know, making some of these games that at the end of the day it's a kart racer, but they added all these features that make it a unique experience. And that's what people want to play right now. Truly, I do think that that's what people want to play. They want to say that they're playing something that feels new with a little bit of the old, that, you know, gets them playing these games that they might already be used to or have played for a long time. I'm gonna try to keep this one short and sweet, but thank you all for watching my Sonic Racing videos. I've never done this type of content on this channel, so I was excited to see good reception from it. Let me know what your experience was like during the beta. Are you going to be purchasing this game? Did you enjoy it if you were able to play the beta? And with that, I'm going to leave you all with some of my favorite OSTs from this round of maps that we got to see. As usual, Sega always does a good job, in my opinion, when it comes to the music side of things. Some of these maps had really good music, and I just wanted to share those before I finish this video. So with that, have a good one.